So good morning dear cadets. So as you know, we are in the HNO3. So reaction of HNO3 with metal we have already completed. So those two reaction means reaction of HNO3 with the metal is very important. Just two metals are given, zinc and copper. So reaction of zinc with concentrate HNO3, reaction of zinc with dilute HNO3, reaction of copper with dilute HNO3, reaction of copper with concentrate HNO3. Just remember this one. Out of 4 reaction, 1 reaction will come 101% in the exam. Out of 3 set in any one of the set it will come. Now reaction of HNO3 with non-metals. So already I told you dilute will not react. Only concentrate HNO3 will react with the non-metal. Reason study only I explained. So just see. Even strong non-metal will not react with the concentrate HNO3. Okay, only weak non-metal will react. So now if carbon will react, it will be converted into H2CO3. If phosphorus will react, phosphorus will be converted into phosphoric acid to their fullest oxidation state. The carbon fullest oxidation state is +4. That is present in the carbonic acid. Phosphorus fullest oxidation state is +5. Now phosphorus will be converted into phosphoric acid. Sulfur fullest oxidation state is +6. That is present in the H2SO4. Iodine, its fullest oxidation state is +5. It is present in iodic acid, HiO3. The question is how? So study only one reaction I told you, reaction of concentrate HNO3 with the carbon, okay, with the continuation of same. Today the reaction of concentrate HNO3 with sulfur. So just try to understand 2 HNO3 concentrate HNO3. That is the first step, and this step will be common for all. Let it be carbon, phosphorus, sulfur or iodine. First step will be common. Stoichiometric coefficient will be different. For balancing the reaction, we are putting all these numbers. So that number may be different, but the basic product of first step will be same. So this will be the step. Okay. Now sulfur. Now this nascent oxygen which is evolved here, that will be consumed in the step number 2nd. Now water must be there. Let it be concentrate, but in the second step water must be there. Now sulfur, water, nascent oxygen. So now here what would be there? H2SO4. Now this 24 oxygen will be cancelled out. Now you add this one. So 24 into 2, that is 48 HNO3. S8. Now here what is the product now? Here 8 H2SO4. Here 48 NO2 and means 8 H2O is here, 24 H2O is here. So 24 minus 8, now 16 H2O. This is the final product for sulfur. Now just see, sulfur is here 0, sulfur is here +6. So now 0 to +6. What is this one? Oxidation. So this is now reducing agent. What is this one? Reducing agent. Okay. Now here what is there? This is +5, and here what is this one? +4. So +5 to +4. What is this one? This is reduction. What is this one? Reduction. And reduction means oxidizing agent. So HNO3 is here oxidizing agent. What is this one? Oxidizing agent. Okay. So now take another one. Now I have completed carbon. I have now completed sulfur. Now next one is the phosphorus. So the first step will be common only. First step there is no change in the first step. Now second step, just see. Now here what you will take? Here you will take phosphorus. Now this may not be 24. Just write here nascent oxygen. Now rest everything is balanced. Just 3 to the 6. So 4, 5, 6 oxygen is there. Now here what would be there? P4. Here H2O. here nascent oxygen. What is the product here? H3PO4. Okay, now this will also be changed now. So just try to understand here. Now let us check reaction is balanced or not. Reaction is not balanced. Phosphorus is here 4 and in product side only one phosphorus is there. So we can balance this one by taking 10 nascent oxygen. So take here 10 nascent oxygen. So this should be multiplied with 10. Now here 6H2O. Now here 4. Here 4. Okay. Now everything is balanced. Now 10 oxygen will be cancelled out. Now just see. Now 20HNO3. First write P4 plus 20HNO3. Okay. Plus. Now just see. Here 10H2O, here 6H2O. So the means reactant side no water molecules. Okay. Now what is the product here? The product is now 10 minus 6. So 4H2O. First write 4H3PO4 plus 4H2O plus 20NO2. 20NO2. Okay. Now phosphorus is 0 here. Here phosphorus is plus 5. So 0, 2 plus this one. What is the name of this one? The name, this is now undergoing oxidation. Undergoing oxidation. So oxidation, it means this is reducing agent. Reducing agent. Okay. What about this one? Here nitrogen is plus 5. So plus 5 to plus 4. So now here what is there? It is undergoing reduction. Undergoing reduction. Hence what is this one? Oxidizing agent. Oxidizing agent. Okay. So this reaction is also completed. So I have completed carbon, sulfur and phosphorus. The last one is now iodine. Iodine means I2. I2. Just see. The first step is common only. Now just change this step only. Second step. Just see. Now here write nascent oxygen. Nascent oxygen. Here write I2 plus H2O plus nascent oxygen. So this is equal to HiO3. Balance the reaction. Now 2HiO3. Now number of oxygen is 6. Here just write 5 oxygen. Now everything is balanced. Okay. So this should be multiplied with 5. Okay. So 5 oxygen, 5 nascent oxygen is cancelled out. Now add this one. So now here what is there? I2 plus 10HNO3. 10HNO3. Okay. Conc. 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 Now here 5H2O is there. Here 1H2O. So in reactant side no water molecules. Now this side what would be there? 2HiO3 plus now 4H2O. 4H2O. Okay. 4H2O plus 10NO2. Okay. 10NO2. So now iodine is 0. Iodine is here plus 5. So now 0, 2 plus 5. What is the meaning of this one? 0, 2 plus 5? Undergoing oxidation. There is an increase in the positive oxidation state. So this is oxidation. Oxidation means this is reducing agent. Reducing agent. Okay. Now here nitrogen is plus 5. Here nitrogen is plus 4. So plus 5 to plus 4. What is this one? Reduction. What is this one? Reduction. Reduction means oxidizing agent. Okay. So now just you remember this one. Carbon will be, when carbon react with concentrate HNO3, the product is this one. Oxidation product is this one. Means HNO3 will oxidize carbon into carbonic acid, phosphorus into phosphoric acid, sulfur into sulfuric acid, iodine into iodic acid. Okay. So these are the things. And please, in such type of reaction, below the product, you should write the product name. Okay. And just see, always remember, two-step reaction. Okay. And it is easy to balance also, easy to remember also. Okay. So in this way, the reaction of concentrate HNO3 with the non-metal is completely completed. Dear cadet, you might have heard about the aqua regia. What is the aqua regia? Try to understand. The mixture of one part of HNO3 and 3 part of HCl, that mixture is known as aqua regia. Try to understand. Noble metal, what are the noble metal? Less reactive metal like silver, gold, platinum. Already I wrote here. Noble metals, PT, platinum, Au, Ag. These are least reactive metals which are not affected by chemical reagent like HNO3. Try to understand. These are so less reactive metal, even HNO3 cannot react with them. Okay. But these noble metal very easily can be dissolved in the aqua regia. Means what is there? Aqua regia is a very strong solution. Okay. So what is aqua regia? Aqua regia is nothing but a mixture of one part of HNO3 and 3 part of HCl. That mixture is known as aqua regia. This aqua regia is very strong oxidizing agent. So aqua regia is a strong oxidizing agent, due to which it oxidizes noble metal to its fullest oxidation state. Now try to understand. Gold, one oxidation state is +1, highest oxidation state is +3, platinum +2, lowest oxidation state, +4, highest oxidation state. Beyond this one, platinum cannot exhibit. Silver, of course, +1 is there. In some cases, silver is also exhibiting +3 oxidation state, but the most stable oxidation state is +1 only. Question arises here, how does aqua regia work as a oxidizing agent? Okay. So try to understand. First you take one part HNO3 and 3 part HCl. Okay. So these two react together and they form NaOCl, 2H2O and nascent chlorine, not nascent oxygen. The meaning of nascent is newly produced, newly born. That is known as nascent. So here nascent chlorine is produced. Now what is NaOCl? Nitrosyl chloride. NaOCl, nitrosyl chloride. But here who is working? Now just see. This nascent chlorine will work just like a nascent oxygen. So the addition of nascent oxygen, that is oxidation. Addition of electronegative atom, that is also oxidation. Am I correct or not? And what here I am explaining? Here I am explaining how does aqua regia work as oxidizing agent. So in the second step, just see, here I took Au. What I took here? Au. Okay. So Au will react with the nascent chlorine which is evolved or produced in the step number first. And now it will oxidize Au to its fullest oxidation state, that is +3. For Au, fullest oxidation state is +3. So AuCl3. Okay. And now balancing work is left. Okay. So this side how many chlorine is evolved here? 2 nascent chlorine is evolved here. For balancing, but here how many chlorine you require? You require 3 chlorine this side. So here you will write 3 chlorine. So here you have to multiply with 3. Then you have to multiply here 2. Then only this will be the 6 nascent chlorine, and here also 6 nascent chlorine. Now cancel out this one. Now HNO3 is 3 part, HCl is 9 part. So just see, ratio is maintained. 1:3 means what? What is the 1:3 of 3 ratio 9? 3:9 means 1:3. Okay. Now 2Au, now 3NOCl, 2AuCl3 plus 6H2O, 6H2O. So these are the product. Now you can very easily come to know which one is oxidizing agent, which one is reducing agent. Just try to understand. Nitrogen is here plus 5, but in NOCl nitrogen will be, what is the oxidation state of nitrogen there? Nitrogen is here less than 5. You can understand here. Nitrogen is less than 1. Here plus 1 will be there. So now try to understand, not plus 1, plus 3 oxidation will be there for nitrogen in NOCl. So plus 5 to plus 3 undergoing reduction, hence oxidizing agent. Gold is here 0, but gold is here plus 3 in AuCl3. So this is undergoing oxidation, hence reducing agent. Now if you want to take another metal, suppose you have taken here in place of Au, Ag you are taking. So here what would be there? AgCl will form. If Pt you will take, so PtCl4 will form. Accordingly you balance the reaction. So the meaning of aquaresia is a very strong oxidizing solution which can oxidize the noble metal to their fullest oxidation state. As far as the structure of HNO3 is concerned, so HNO3 formula is like that, HNO3, but it should be written like that, HON double bond O and O. It should be written like that. Okay. Now I wrote here, this is the first resonating structure. Now just see, here nitrogen is plus 5 because this bond is formed by nitrogen itself. Now here negative sign, here 2, 4, 6, same structure I made here. Here lone pair of electron. Now in the second resonating structure, shift this bond here, shift this electron here. So you will get the next resonating structure, that is this one. And the resonance hybrid is this one. Resonance hybrid. This is resonance hybrid. Okay. So now structure of HNO3 is also completely completed. Now question arises here, what are the different applications of uses of HNO3? So the number one application is HNO3 is used in the manufacturing of fertilizers, nitrogenous compound, because for the production of crops what is required? Nitrogen is very much required. So for the production of fertilizer HNO3 is used. Second one application, in the production of ammonia also it is used. Okay, in the production of ammonia also it is used. What is the third application? Different oxides of nitrogen can also be prepared by HNO3. And the most important application is HNO3 is used in the production of one explosive. What is the name of that explosive? TNT. You might have heard about this one. Terrorist groups, organization, they are using this explosive only, TNT. This is very strong explosive. Okay. Now entire community, entire area can be devastated if this is used. Okay. In Second World War time this has been used abundantly. Okay. So just try to understand the meaning of TNT is trinitrotoluene. Tri, N means nitro, T means toluene. Okay. So but try to understand, TNT is not the strongest explosive. The strongest explosive is HMX. HMX. This is your extra knowledge. Her Majesty explosive. Her Majesty explosive. Okay. This is the strongest explosive. Now recently Russia has tested for the mother bombs. In that mother bombs it was 1000 ton, having 1000 ton weight. In mother bombs it is suspected that HMX is used, Her Majesty explosive. Okay. Recently in the Baltic Sea Russia has test fired one bombs, and scientists of different countries, they are suspecting that Russia has used HMX in that bomb. Okay. So this is your extra knowledge. In this way your HNO3 is completely completed. Now allotropic forms of phosphorus. So as far as the compounds of nitrogen is concerned, they are completely completed. Now allotropic form of phosphorus and compounds of phosphorus. So what are the compounds of phosphorus? There are various kinds of compounds of phosphorus, but in your syllabus what is given? PH3 is given. Then oxides of phosphorus is given, halides of phosphorus is given, and oxo acids of phosphorus is given. The oxo acids of phosphorus is very, very important. And if that is completed, it means group number 15 is completed. And I am hoping that you are getting the questions now. How many questions can come here? Now remember, in HNO3, those things means reactions. Reaction of HNO3 with the metals, reaction of HNO3 with the non-metal is important. Because sometime they will ask one marks question. What is the oxidation product of iodine when it reacts with the concentrate HNO3? So now one word answer only you have to write, that iodic acid. Okay. Now 3 years back, in all the 3 sets, first question was this one only. What is the oxidation product of phosphorus when it reacts with the nitric acid? In one of the set, what is the oxidation product of iodine when it reacts with the concentrate HNO3? What is the product of oxidation product of carbon when it reacts with the concentrate HNO3? So in the box earlier only I wrote. Now 3 years back it has come. Now chances are there that in this year also they may come. So keep practicing hard. So dear cadets, now allotropic forms of phosphorus. There are 3 allotropic forms of phosphorus: white phosphorus, red phosphorus, and black phosphorus. Okay, red phosphorus and black phosphorus. What is the first question? What is the allotropy? What is allotropy? When same element present in different physical form in the nature. Okay, so different physical form of same element is known as allotrophs. Are you getting my point or not? Different physical form of same element, that is known as allotropic form, and this phenomenon is known as allotropy. So question arises here, why do allotropic form exist? Try to understand here. In any atom there are 2 parts. One is the cells where electrons revolve. Another one is the nucleus. Okay. So allotropic forms have got the different physical properties, but chemical properties are same. It means what is there? It is allotropy is not because of the electron difference. Allotropy is because of the difference in the properties of proton and neutron. So always remember, allotropic form exists because of the difference in the number of proton and neutron. Okay, number of proton and neutron, basically neutrons only. Okay, so now let us concentrate on the different allotropic form of phosphorus. So there are 3 forms of phosphorus, and I have tried hard to summarize in one place only. So rather than studying all in different places, here only I wrote. Okay, now don't think that only that much is there. There are some important aspects. The most important aspects of allotropic form is their structures. They differed in terms of structure, and because of those structure difference, these physical properties are different. So just see, what is white phosphorus? White waxy solid having garlic smell. Red phosphorus, hard crystalline solid having no smell. This is harder than white phosphorus. Okay, what about this one, black phosphorus? Tetrahedral double layer black solid. Okay, tetrahedral double layer black solid. Actually it is most polymeric form. Most polymeric forms, and it is found in alpha black and beta black form. Okay, alpha black and beta black form. Okay, the next one is white phosphorus. It is a good conductor of heat and electricity. Red phosphorus, bad conductor of heat and electricity. What about black phosphorus? It is moderate conductor of heat and electricity. Okay, now white phosphorus is insoluble in water but soluble in CS2, NH3 and toluene, benzene. What about this one? It is insoluble in water and CS2, red phosphorus. This is also insoluble in water and CS2. Okay, the most important thing, white phosphorus is known for its burning property. Very easily it catches fire. Because of its fire catching property, it is always stored in the water. Okay, the moment it comes into open atmosphere, it reacts with the oxygen and catch fire. So it is why it is highly reactive. It's why it is highly inflammable. It is highly inflammable because its ignition temperature is very low, 303 Kelvin. Why this one? This one will not, red phosphorus will not catch fire easily because its ignition temperature is bit high, that is 543 Kelvin. What about black phosphorus? Its ignition temperature is very high. Its ignition temperature is very high, that is 673 Kelvin. 673 Kelvin. Reactivity, as far as the reactivity is concerned, white phosphorus is highly reactive, red phosphorus is less reactive, and the least reactive form is black phosphorus. Okay, so reactivity and stability both are opposite to each other. If white phosphorus is most reactive, it means it will be least stable. Now red phosphorus is less reactive, so it is moderate stable. Now what about black phosphorus? Least reactive, hence most stable. Okay, so just see what is the factor which is responsible for their reactivity and stability, their structure. Now there is a lot of difference in the structure of red, white and black phosphorus. That is why they are exhibiting different kinds of stability and reactivity. The last one, white phosphorus glows in dark. So glowing property in the dark, that is known as chemiluminescence. Chemiluminescence. What about this one? Red phosphorus does not glow in dark. It does not glow in dark. And what about this one? Black phosphorus also does not glow in the dark. So these are the properties of, means physical properties, or you can say the difference in the physical properties of white, black and red phosphorus. Now the basic difference in their structure. Because of the structure difference only, they are exhibiting different kinds of physical properties. So dear cadets, order of reactivity of allotropic forms of phosphorus is written here. Okay, so which is more reactive? White phosphorus, then red phosphorus, the least one is black phosphorus. And order of stability of allotropic forms of phosphorus, reverse of this one, black phosphorus, then red phosphorus, then white phosphorus. So what we can say, thermodynamically black phosphorus is the most stable and thermodynamically white phosphorus is least stable. Okay, now as far as the reactivity is concerned, white phosphorus is the most reactive and black phosphorus is the least reactive. This is because of their structure. Here one more point, just you note down, white phosphorus is stable up to 1070 Kelvin only, white phosphorus. Here just write this in, white phosphorus. Okay, above this temperature, this decomposed into P2. What is this one? P2. Just like P4, P2 is also one of the species. Just like S8, S2. So this is also one of the species. So above this temperature, it dissociates. Just remember this one. In this way, as far as the physical properties of phosphorus is concerned, I have completely completed. Now in the next video, I will tell you the structure and some more important thing about the phosphorus. like why white phosphorus is more reactive, black phosphorus is least reactive. So once we'll explain their structure, automatically you will come to know. Okay, thank you.